Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Squid Game Season 2, Episode 2, Halloween Party. I'm stressed still for this episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go. Got a look in his pocket.
경찰이다. 손 머리 위로 올려.
You didn't do it. You need to work together, not arrest him.
당신 변호 살성할 권리가 있고 묵비권을 행사.
Oh, I wanted them to work together.
성기훈 사.
As a cop, he obviously couldn't just turn a blind eye to an apparent murder, but he also is not giving his brother's name. What's this? Someone else that's going to be in the Squid Game.
광주로 형사.
Not how I pictured them talking, but
이제 게임에서 쳤을 뿐이야. 당신 아직도 그 게임을 하고 있는 거야? 난 그 게임을
stop it. Please work together.
어떻게? 그놈부터 잡을 거야. 5일날 밑에서 게임을 관리하던.
Yeah, about that. You know he does.
얼굴을 봤어?
You can't protect him. Think of what he's done.
찾으면.
I'm so fascinated by this because he wants to prove the games are real. He wants to stop it, but he's protecting his brother, even though his brother is a part of it. Does he still think, because his brother didn't kill him, because his brother shot him and non-fatally, does he still think his brother's kind of there against his will somehow, that it's not his brother's fault? Because at this point...
당신이 보지 못한 것들을 봤어. 당신이 하려는 일.
I really hope... I want them to work together, even though I don't fully trust Jun-ho's protection of his own brother. Oh Lord.
제가 그동안 모은 것들입니다.
Money gets you a lot.
됩니까?
He has really thought of everything. Like, he has got plans within plans within plans. And he's been practicing. You can't protect your brother. I mean, ideally you could protect him from murder because I believe that going to prison for life is worse than the death penalty. So, like, I want them in prison. Oh. He's doing okay.
최근에 불련한 게 확인됐습니다.
He's still trying to help.
동생이 있는 곳입니다. 혹시라도
because he's going to go and risk his life. He might not be there when the mother comes back.
마음이 짠해서 또 열심히 했다니까.
그러니까요. 제발 한 번만.
Is he looking for a child?
그냥 전 상황이 그렇다는 거죠.
We're learning all the tragic backstories of these people who are going to die horribly. Some people have just made the offer. You know he's alive, you know where he is, or you don't know where he is, but you know what he's doing to other people's families, to other people who were deserving of life regardless of whether they have families or not. I suppose he could be not giving the brother's name to protect his mum, because if he says, oh, my brother's part of it, then they can look into him and they would look at, probably like tear their lives apart looking, and it would hurt her for him to her son to be viewed in that light. Okay, another reason why he probably feels he owes his brother. So that's why his brother went into the games. He made terrible choices. Even if he was vulnerable and ended up in the Squid Games as a victim, he then chose to enable them and continue them. The little thing definitely reminds her of her daughter. Jesus Christ. He is dedicated. We're training!
여기는 그냥 경찰 출신. 생겨요. 추적기까지 달아났잖아요.
He could still get killed.
어디를 가도
Yes, this is probably not a good space to be in. Sound trigger wise. His daughter. He chose trying to do the right thing over his baby. He could so easily have just gone and lived his life. But forgotten, thought it's too much for me to handle, too much for me to deal with. A noise basement is definitely not where I'd like to be.
지금 클럽으로 들어갔습니다.
The masked men. Oh my god, they're right behind him. Jesus Christ. Is he gonna gas him and he's gonna wake up on the island again? Yeah, that's so easy to do.
그렇게까지 생각했다니. 게임을 멈춰.
Oh, I'm stressed. When you take people that are that vulnerable, they don't have a choice. It's not informed consent. It's the same way as like if you have sex with a drunk person, it's still rape. Like if you're completely sober and they're going to you out of it to say no.
너희들이 하는 그 더를
Well, maybe you fucking rich people could, who instead of being, oh, it's just so bored, could actually put all of your money into helping people who are less well off, helping society change, helping the systems change so that people stop getting bankrupted by medical bills or by random circumstances of birth that mean that they're born to a poor family instead of a rich family. We can maybe make the world a better place instead of just building up our billions again more and more and more and more. Poor people, that's definitely what they think, yeah. No one owns the horses in this analogy. I'm concerned that there are multiple limos and that when it's out of sight they've like switcherooed, but oh good. It was only disabling his car at least.
저도 당했어요. 세세워. 게임을 하게 해줘. 게임을 하겠다고. 다시 게임을 하게 해줘.
Is it because of the tracker?
게임을 멈추라고 하잖아.
He thinks like they'll be able to track him.
날 게임장으로 데려가.
He's so brave.
뭔가 그 노숙자를 구하러 왔다는 걸 알면서도 창밖을 보려고 하지 않았지. 하지만 숨이 멎는 순간
Me too.
분명히 알고 있어.
네가 이 세상을 바꿀 수 있는.
He's definitely trying to stop you monsters. He's more of a hero than you'll ever be in your life. Than most of us will ever be.
한다는 걸.
My fear is that they'll search him and they'll find the tracker. You're very brave. Fuck, he was in the car. I didn't think he was going to be in the car. Please don't find the tracker. But I think with Jihan, they probably would search him for trackers and things. Well, this is different. I suppose maybe some of them did get brought this way. Oh, she... Oh. Wait. This isn't players. Yeah, this is how they recruit the minions. So she wasn't recruited as a player. She was recruited quite happily to kill people. Oh, good. I feel sorry for you with your daughter, but I don't really care so much now if you die. And that's why she didn't have to play a game when she was recruited. The question is, at this point, does she fully know what she's in for. Okay, this was incredibly stressful as an episode. I'm really glad that Jihan and Junho are working together. Like, obviously they're technically now separate, but like, I was worried when he was initially arresting him. I was thinking, oh god, is he gonna actually take him into jail? And then they're gonna be like angry with each other and not working together. So I'm glad ultimately they were able to just come together, because if we stand any chance of stopping these games and catching the people behind it, it's gonna take people working together. Jihan is still amazingly brave and resilient, and I think something that I particularly enjoy is when we first met him, he was somebody that it's very easy to look down on. He is somebody that society trains us to look down on. You know, he seemed pathetic, a gambling addict who'd lost everything, wasted his life, useless forever, and a burden to his mum. Oh, look down on him, isn't he terrible? Whereas the reality is, he was a man who made some bad choices, yes, who had some bad luck, and who had an addiction, which is an illness. He was not a bad person because of those choices, because of those things happening to him. Most people are just a really bad day away from being in that kind of position. It's only the sort of really, really wealthy people that are not in that kind of vulnerability. So I really like that. I mean, we saw it throughout the first season of Squid Game that he didn't resort to trying to hurt people to get what he wanted. The only time he really did anything bad was when he was willing to con the old man with his dementia to try and win the game, but that was just purely trying to survive. And awful as it sounds, an old man already dying of a brain tumor over you're probably gonna be okay, like, you know. So I think I really like that, even though he's someone that society conditions us to look down on, he is someone who, when faced with a very easy option of taking his money and going to be with his daughter and having the kind of life he once only dreamed of, he chose to turn his back on that because he knew that what he'd been through was so terrible, he had to try and stop it. And I really, really enjoy and respect that that is how they portray his character. And obviously the whole message of the show is that just because people are vulnerable, just because people are down on their luck, have made some bad choices or have had some unfortunate times in their lives that have left them desperate for money and vulnerable, and maybe they've made bad choices as a result of getting there, doesn't mean they are less than and doesn't mean they deserve to be die or be treated less than. That is the whole point of the show. But I really enjoy Jihan as a main character in that regard in particular, because I mean, I feel like maybe I might have tried to go to the police. I might have tried to like get somebody to believe me. I maybe even would have used my money to like hire private investigators on people. I don't know that I would have been able to put my life on the line in the same way and go back into the games if I'd managed to survive it. So I really, really enjoy him as a character, and I'm very stressed. I'm like, fingers crossed that he will survive into season 3 because he is the lead character. But this is also Squid Game, and I'm worried he won't. Um, Now, the hope is the tracker is advanced enough they won't know it's there. They won't find it. My fear is they will have advanced tech. They will be able to figure out he has a tracker, and in that regard case, they'll find it, they'll take it out, they won't know where he is. They'll know he's on an island somewhere, but they won't be able to figure it out beyond that. I almost feel like they should have given him 2 trackers. One, maybe they did, one that was like a little bit more obvious, so that then they'd be like, oh, we found the obvious tracker, and then they could wouldn't look for the other one. But plan B, this was always a plan they had, that he might try and go back into the games. They have their little squad of mercenaries, which is better than nothing. Now, I love that the woman we followed in this one that we kind of cared about, because we saw like her backstory, and like she shot a superior. We don't quite know the context of that. Maybe she just shot someone in cold blood, or maybe, you know, it was life and death, or he was a bad dude. She wants to get her daughter back. She was kind to the little girl who was sick, etc. But she agreed to do the job. She agreed to be one of the people in red. I always thought it as red. They say pink. To me, it's red. Which is fascinating because she so clearly I mean, she wasn't like super desperate for money. She had a job. She was able to pay the guy looking for her daughter, but you kind of think, oh, she's desperate enough that maybe like if she were to suddenly have billions, she would probably be able to get her daughter, or have endless people looking for her daughter or something. So I love that we saw, maybe it was obvious to everyone else that she was being recruited to work it, that side of it as well. And I wonder if we'll continue to follow her. We'll know which one she is. I didn't, if they have numbers on them, I didn't catch which one she was. When I'm editing, I'll have to double check to see if there was an identifying number. There definitely was on the door she went behind, see if that's the way we can track her further on. But does she know she's going to have to kill people? And I suppose, given that she's already killed someone, maybe she is, or already shot someone, more capable of doing it again? I don't know. So yeah, this season is shaping up to be amazing. I'm so stressed because like the Squid Games are happening again now. Like the last episode was bad enough, but this time it's going to be full blown Squid Game all over again. Just got to hope John Ho and crew can make it and stop them. And then we have Jun-ho, who's still not saying he knows who the overseer is. He knows his name, he knows who it is. It's his brother. Now, finding out about the kidney, I think actually maybe we did know about, I can't remember now, maybe we did know that his brother gave him a kidney in season 1 and I just forgot. Either way, gives more context as to why it's hard for him to turn his brother in, because his brother literally sacrificed part of his body for him. But there does come a time when family loyalties can't go anywhere, and I do think it's largely because he wants to protect his mum from the pain. But if he just said, I know one of the people is my brother, then maybe that I'm worried that if push comes to shove, Jun-ho might choose his brother somehow, but I don't know how that would happen, and I'm stressed, okay? But I'm really enjoying this show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.